All right, so today we're diving into a story, a really simple one actually, about lip gloss. But you'll see it reveals this huge truth about our relationships. It's all about how those tiny little frustrations can pile up, and how sometimes just one single conversation can change everything. Seriously, think about it for a second. What's the smallest thing that ever just got under your skin in a relationship? Was it the dishwasher thing? The cap left off the toothpaste, maybe? Or maybe it was something you couldn't even really name. We've all been there, right? These tiny little points of friction that feel almost silly to bring up, but man, they really do matter. And that, right there, is exactly where our story kicks off today. We're going to see how something as small as lip gloss, lip gloss, became this huge catalyst for a communication breakthrough. It's almost like a blueprint for how to deal with those little annoyances before they blow up into something big. Okay, so let's set the scene. At the heart of this whole thing, we've got a couple. And from the outside looking in, everything seems pretty much perfect. So let's meet Adam and Gina. They've been together for a few months, and honestly, things are great. They have a really solid relationship. They're good at figuring stuff out together, finding that common ground. But even with all that good stuff, there was this one tiny nagging issue that was just lingering. And the problem wasn't some big dramatic blow up. It wasn't about money or their future. No, the problem was sticky and pink and glittering. Yep, you guessed it. It was Gina's lip gloss. I mean, we're literally talking about the stuff left behind after a kiss. Such a small detail, right? But for Adam, it was quietly becoming a huge source of frustration.
So the question is, how does something like a bit of lip gloss go from being a minor annoyance to something that Adam felt like he just had to say something about? How does that happen?
Okay, so here's the deal. Gina loved her lip gloss, and every single time she kissed Adam, she'd leave this trail, sticky, pink, glittery. And for Adam, it wasn't a simple wipe and go situation. This stuff was stubborn. He found it was almost impossible to get off completely. And this is where we get to the why, which is so important. This wasn't about him being vain or picky. Think about it. Adam had a job, a professional life. He hated the idea of walking into an important meeting feeling all self-conscious, wondering if he had glitter on his lips. I mean, can you imagine? It was creating actual real-world stress for him, a super small thing with surprisingly big consequences. And isn't this the classic turning point in so many relationships? It's that moment you realize that keeping quiet about something is actually more stressful than the awkward conversation you're trying to avoid. Well, Adam, he had officially reached that point. He'd had enough. Which brings us right to the heart of this whole thing, the conversation. This is it. The moment where a tiny annoyance could either blow up or turn into a moment of genuine connection. What's amazing is that their conversation basically gives us a perfect 4-step guide for how to handle these things. It's a masterclass in resolving conflict gently and, actually getting somewhere. So let's break it down step by step and see exactly what they said. Okay, step 1. Adam just comes out and says what he needs. But look at how he does it. He starts with affection, Gina baby. That immediately softens things. Then he uses an I statement, I really wish, so it doesn't sound like he's blaming her. And then he just states the problem from his point of view. It's impossible to get off. See? He's not attacking her. He's just describing what's happening to him. All right, now for step 2. And honestly, this might be the most important step of all. Just listening. Gina's surprised. I mean, she had no idea. She could have totally gotten defensive right there, but she doesn't. Instead, she just says, oh, I didn't know. And then she asks a question. Why does it bother you so much? That question is a total game changer. It's an invitation to talk more, and it turns what could have been a fight into a real conversation. So that question opens the door for step 3. Adam explains the impact. He answers her why. And again, notice what he's not saying. He's not saying, your lip gloss is annoying and terrible. He's saying, it's just be sticking on my lips like I just applied it myself. He's describing his experience. It keeps the whole thing focused on solving the problem, not on blaming Gina. And because of all that, we get to step 4, the compromise. And it happens so naturally. Because Gina actually listened and understood where he was coming from, she could respond with real empathy. She says, I don't want to make you uncomfortable, and right away she offers a solution. Boom. The goal wasn't about one person winning, it was about both of them being comfortable. So
What happened after this perfectly handled little chat? Let's look at the result and what it means for the rest of us.
For Adam, the immediate feeling was just relief. And that is such a huge feeling, isn't it? It's that feeling of, wow, they heard me. They get it. It's knowing your partner actually cares about how you feel. That nagging weight he'd been carrying around, poof, gone. And the actual solution they came up with, it was so simple. Gina just started putting her lip gloss on after kissing him. Or if she was already wearing it, she'd just give him a heads up. That's it. It was such a tiny change for her, but it made a massive difference for him. It really goes to show you that the solution doesn't have to be as big as the problem feels. I mean, look at this transformation. They went from having this unspoken annoyance festering between them to just open communication. What was on track to become real frustration, maybe even resentment, turned into a thoughtful compromise. It's all built on just understanding each other. That right there is the whole point. So here's the big takeaway. The lip gloss was never really about the lip gloss. It's a metaphor, right? Let's call it the glittering residue. It stands for all those little unresolved things in a relationship that just linger. The little resentments, the small misunderstandings. If you don't deal with them, they just stick around and slowly, quietly mess things up. So when you boil it all down, this story isn't about lip gloss. Not at all. It's a huge reminder that strong relationships, the ones that last, are built on being able to talk about the small stuff with kindness and clarity. Because it's in those little moments, that's where you build the trust you're going to need when the really big stuff comes along. And so that really leaves us with one final question to think about. Every single relationship has its own version of that glittering residue, those little sticky problems that just need a bit of attention. So, what's yours? And is it possible that a simple, kind conversation is all it would take to finally wipe it clean?